Highlights, our 5v Sydney. See all the highlights from a rousing win at the SCG Adelaide. Captain Taylor Walker has responded to a week of scathing criticism to inspire his side to a remarkable 10-point upset win over Sydney at the SCG on Friday night. The Crows and their skipper were rightly picked apart after their disappointing loss to Collingwood in round 4, but with stars Rory, Sloane and Eddie Betts missing, Walker's 4 goals led the visitors to a stirring 12.13, 85 to 10.15, 75 victory. Hard-running midfielder Paul Seedsman was sensational for the Crows with 26 possessions, while defenders Rory Laird and Tom Doty gathered 55 touches between them, and wingman Rory Atkins was also important with 3 goals. Unheralded on-ballers Hugh Greenwood and Cam Ellis-Yeoman did plenty of grunt work and shared 19 tackles for the night. Now for the Round 5 hurts fans. MVP after a disastrous loss to Collingwood in Round 4. Adelaide coach Don Pike was at a loss to explain how his team's form could be so different in Sydney. "I don't think we'll ever know, to be honest," he said. "Last week, I don't think too much went right. Sometimes that just happens. We didn't really dig super deep through it. The players were disappointed. They were determined to put a lot stronger showing on tonight. We brought in some younger players who contributed really well. The Swans had few four-quarter performers, but defenders Dane Rampe, Harry Marsh and Jake Lloyd were solid under a mountain of pressure, along with midfielder Zach Jones." Sydney coach John Longmire said his side's problems starting in the opening term when the Crows midfield dominated the clearances 16-7 and the inside 50 count 20-11, which put the home side's backline under too much pressure. "Our mids didn't touch it much at all in the first half, and all our big possession winners were our defenders, and looking at those stats it's not surprising," he said. "We just got well beaten in the middle of the ground and they were better at winning the contests than us." Pike threw plenty of players behind the ball with his side up in starting center bounces with 9 defenders, which left superstar Swans Lance Franklin with little room to move, and he struggled to kick the single goal opposed to Daniel Talia. The Crows dominated the early part of the opening term but could only register 0.5 on the scoreboard, but under fire Captain Walker settled the visitors with 2 goals, and when Rory Atkins snagged his second on the run they led by 12 points at quarter-time. How good was this? Biceps defensive pressure leads to a goal 2 at Rory Atkins 21. FC, April 20, 2018. Franklin threatened to turn momentum the Swans' way when he launched a trademark bomb from the center square not long after the break, after being picked out by a wayward Crows kick, but Walker hit straight back with one of his own from a set shot. Josh Jenkins failed to touch the footy in the first quarter, but he bobbed up with a couple of his own, and when Atkins cleverly snapped his third, the Crows were 23 points clear midway into the second. The Crows held their advantage for the remainder of the half, but a drop mark from Mitch McGovern after a defensive switch of play let the Swans in, and veteran Kieran Jack calmly slotted one from in front of the SCG members with 14 seconds left on the clock. After being well down in the first half, Josh Kennedy, Luke Parker and Isaac Keeney started to wield an influence in the third term, but it wasn't until the 13-minute mark that a Harry Cunningham goal got the Swans on the board. The SCG crowd then rose as when Gary Rohan snapped truly and kissed the black armband on his left bicep, the speedster mobbed by teammates as he pointed to the heavens as a tribute to his baby daughter Willow, who tragically passed away last week. The home side couldn't take advantage of a lopsided inside 50 count, and when Seedsman threaded a goal from a tight angle the margin was back to 9 points at the final break. A third for Jenkins and another for Walker, followed by a neat finish from youngster Jordan Gallucci, blew the Crows' lead out to 27 points 10 minutes into the last quarter, but 2 quick goals dragged the Swans to within 2 straight kicks. They pressed hard until the final minute, until fittingly it was a Walker mark near the Swans' goal line that ended the charge. Medical room Sydney, the Swans got through without any injury worries. Adelaide, the visitors lost defender Kyle Hartigan with a hamstring injury in the first half, so he's likely to miss some games. Next up, the Crows head back to Adelaide to take on Gold Coast next Saturday night, while the Swans have another tough game against Geelong on the road on Saturday afternoon. Sydney 3.36.6, 8.9, 10.15, 75, Adelaide 4.9, 8.10, 9.12, 12.13, 85, goal Sydney, Rohan 2, Jones, Towers, Florent, Franklin, Heaney, Jack, Cunningham, Hewitt Adelaide, Walker 4, Atkins 3, Jenkins 3, Seedsman, Gallucci Best, Sydney, Walker, Laird, Seedsman, Jenkins, Atkins, Talia Adelaide, Lloyd, Rampe, McVeigh, Jones, Lloyd injuries Sydney, TBA Adelaide, Hartigan, hamstring, reports, nil umpires, Donlan, Howson, Meredith official crowd, 38,017 at the SCG.